How did you get into spirituality and why? Like I get a lot of questions like this from my friends, from family, from everyone. Why, when you seem to have everything you wanted? And that is true, actually. I have managed to escape the place where I was born and that was ridden by war for many years. I managed to um, by myself, put myself through college, get a degree in finance, build a really reputable career, and make a lot of money. And somehow, I just wasn't happy. I was utterly unhappy actually. And no matter what goals I put in front of myself, and I reached them all actually, there was this black hole inside of me that was unfulfilled. And it was almost as if my soul was not happy and I wasn't living in my purpose. I just had this inner knowing and a kind of intuition that that wasn't it. So this was right around the time when I was about 34. And I was like, okay, so I achieved all of this and somehow I'm not happy. So what's missing? And I was like, well, okay, I'm not really passionate about finance. Maybe that's what it is. And I'm passionate about the environment. So the way I was thinking about that is, let me learn about the environment and how I can help the planet. So I went and got another degree in sustainability from Columbia. And I started working at startups and I was running everything. I was running finance and sustainability and automation and working in these startups and were very environmentally driven. I was overworked and even unhappier than I was before. And years have passed by. And that was right around the time when I was ending my long term relationship. And I could have had family and kids. And somehow I just had this inner knowing that that's not my path. That was not my path. So that's where I paused. And that's where I turned to spirituality. That's where I started to um, get into everything. I mean, I was born a Christian from a Christian family, but I wanted to find my own path. So I got into everything. I was learning about Christianity. I went into church. It wasn't really resonating with me. I went and started learning about Buddhism and I went into shamanism and I connected with so many spiritual teachers and guides. I started meditating, I started learning and reading and really, really doing everything I could to help myself figure out what is it that is my path. And knowing that the path that I was on was not it. And the reason I found out it was not it is because I reached all of the goals that I wanted. And it was right in my face when I could have had a family and kids. And I decided not to because I just felt deep down that that wasn't my path. So that's how it starts. It starts by you realizing that you are utterly unhappy and unfulfilled, even though you have everything you wanted or you have a lot of things that you wanted. And somehow none of that is making you happy because we are preconditioned in this life to want certain things. We're born in this reality, and by our parents, by societal norms and the culture, we are taught that we need to strive for certain things, to finish school, to get a good career, to get family and kids by the age of whatever. And somehow, that is not that is not what your soul is here to do. And for a lot of us, that may be the path, And you may find your purpose in whatever career you do, or whatever relationship you're in. But at the same time, for a lot of us, that's not the path. And also, it is very limited to the materialistic world we live in, and limited by time and space. Okay, I have this short life, and let me get all of these things in before it ends. But in reality, that is completely bypassing your soul purpose and your soul path. And the only way to find your soul purpose and path is to get into spirituality, is to have spiritual practice, it's to have spiritual community and spiritual guides that are going to lead you and help you on this path. And a lot of what we do in our life, and for me, it was making the money and making my life. It was because of how I grew up. I grew up poor and with no money. And that was ancestral wounds. And it goes years, hundreds of years back. But once I started healing first my current life, and then healing my current life traumas, and then my ancestral traumas, and then my past life traumas, is how you go deeper and deeper into spirituality, and you start to uncover and unravel, so to say, and peel the onion and of your soul purpose. Who you are and what is your purpose on this planet, you can only find out if you start diving into spirituality, and if you have a spiritual practice, if you start tuning into yourself through meditation, through solitude, through asking those questions, inner questions of yourself. And some of those are not conscious, so you may have to get deep into theta states and hypnotic states of consciousness to unravel some of those things that may not be even available in our conscious mind. That's where true spiritual awakening begins. It begins by you asking questions, very simply, why am I unhappy? And what is missing out of my life?